All right, add some more lines here, and I'm getting pretty close to my bottom, so I'm just going to leave that one there. And I'll go ahead and do one up here. Now I've basically filled up my page, and I just want to decide which ones are going to be my last lines. Maybe I'm going to do some diagonals here, and maybe I'll paint them in with water, maybe I won't. So remember all your lines from your sun project. You probably want to get your sun project out to help you remember. Did you do an ocean wave? Did you do a castle? Did you try some other things that were like broken lines, thick lines, thin lines, curvy lines, wavy lines, scallops, all those different types that we tried, and fill in your patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these. And then you can look and decide here, if I don't add water, these are nice and crisp and clear. So maybe that's what I want to do, and have do some wavy lines up here. And I'm going to go all the way across. And maybe I want to leave them nice and crisp and clean instead of using water and painting with it, like my crayon one that's behind here. So they're not all going to be the same. My crayon one is very different. For my last lines, I finished some scallops here, and I had a student ask me to show how to do the castle again. So go across, up, across, down, across, up, across, down. This one is really great for buildings. It also kind of looks like Legos. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in this last part with castle walls. And then, so you want to take a look at what our final picture looks like, and decide if you want to go over those with water. Just remember, leave your brush like this. Don't leave it in the water. Same thing with a Q-tip or any other thing that you're going to use for your water. You want to keep it out of the water unless you're using it. All right, here are two paintings. Well, this one's just the marker drawing with the water for the paint. And this is another one that I did earlier in crayon. And just so that you can see what happens, you can use markers on it if you have crayon. I'm just going to use the same blue and just color on this side. And it's kind of great. It will leave your crayon colors alone, but it'll still fill it in. So you have to decide, do you want to go and try to do that? And another way, instead of adding marker onto your existing lines, which you could do here, and then that way you'd have paint to go across. It doesn't go very far, so you have to decide if you want to do that with crayon. But it's really great because your crayon lines are still in there. They don't get softened by the paint. Now, if you're lucky enough to have watercolor paint like this, and you go across, you can really see that it's nice, rich color. It's not as much work. I just got this one for $1. And it will leave the crayon areas alone. So you can get a little more thick or thin with your paint as long as you have good thick paper. And you sort of swirl your colors around. So you can do this with marker if you have the patience, but then you can come in here with your markers to add color and your watercolor paints to add color if that's what you decide to do. So crayon turns out wonderful. You can leave it alone, like you can see up here before we added the paint and the marker to it. It still does a really, really good job on this project. You can also fill these in maybe with a lighter color of crayon and just be super, super gentle. So if you want to add a nice blue background to your green waves right here, a gentle touch would be really good. And then that way you can fill up your whole area with color if that's what you like to do. Have fun with your project and make sure that you put your name on it and you keep your sun and your moon together. These will be really great to have in the classroom when we return to school. Have fun with your project.